Hello team, welcome back. Welcome to DevOps training. This is the first lecture of this particular course and today we will learn about what is DevOps and what are the DevOps tool sets. So we are going to cover these few topics in this particular lecture. We will learn why do we following the DevOps practices, right? And what is the benefit of the DevOps practices. So first, we will learn about the evolution of software development over the years. Then we will discuss a use case history of Facebook which uses DevOps. Then we will learn what is DevOps and at the end we will learn about the different tool sets which is used for the DevOps. So let's start with. So in the previous time, or you can say in the earlier time when software development started, there was different kind of models, right? There was different kind of software development life cycles. So the most popular software development life cycle was traditional waterfall model. In the waterfall model, first we gather the requirement in the planning phase, then we do the coding, then we do the testing, then maintenance, right? So this is the complete product life cycle of the traditional waterfall model. So every phase have their own significance, right? So in the planning, we was basically gathering the requirements. After then we will start the development, and after the development we test the complete product, and after the test we deploy the complete product and we use the maintenance, right? So there was a different kind of gaps available in that particular waterfall model, as the product release life cycle is very long, right? Because we can't release the product until we built it completely. The testing effort is huge, the development effort is also huge, because we are developing the complete product and after then we are starting the testing, right? We are not doing things in the parallel. So that model have these loopholes. So the next model which comes in the market is agile development. In the agile development, the product developed in feature wise, the agile is basically a feature wise development. In the product we develop a single feature, right? We take the requirement, develop the feature, test it, and again go to the development if we are getting some kind of bugs. Once we complete single feature, we pick up the second feature, right? So in the agile development we have a very short time deliveries, right? Requirements in the agile model, requirements changes very frequently, development needs to be fast. But after the agile, now we are working in the era which is called DevOps approaches. So DevOps approaches is best suited when we have the requirements changes frequently. Development needs to be agile and operations also needs to be agile. In the DevOps era, the development and testing will continue in a single phase, right? We can develop and test the product in parallel. Let's see how we can do that. So before move to the DevOps and DevOps technologies, first I would like to share experience of Facebook, which Facebook experienced in 2011, right? So we know very well Facebook is a very big company. They hire the best engineers from the market, right? They are also working on cutting edge technologies, and Facebook is example of the best engineering in the world. So Facebook launched few features in 2011. In 2011, Facebook introduced new features like timeline, music, and ticker, right? So in the last diagram, you can see where we have the word map. So we are showing over here the different data centers of the Facebook, right? These are the deployment zones of the Facebook. So when Facebook basically released these features in 2011, they deployed the new features on their all data centers. They basically released the new features worldwide in a single go, right? After this, they faced some challenges. So basically, at the time of 2011, Facebook have 500 million users worldwide, right? They released some new interesting features in their website which attract a heavy traffic on the Facebook servers, and in result, Facebook servers melt down. They stopped working, right? And when the servers stopped working, there was the delay in the Facebook, there was the delay in the Facebook opening, there was different kind of issues user experienced. So they got the mixed response from the user, which leads no conclusion, because there is no way to remove these features. There is no way to come out from these kind of situations, right? So after this, Facebook created a strategy which they called the dark launching technique, right? So after this incident, Facebook comes with the dark launching technique. So let's discuss what is the dark launching technique, what is the strategy Facebook maintains after the incident of 2011. So according to dark launching technique, they basically divided the dark launching technique in three parts. In the first part, they discussed and they implemented a way like new features are first deployed on a smaller and specific user base. So instead of the complete user base, first, if we are introducing a new feature in our application, if we are going to deliver something new, then we will open that particular feature for a specific group or for a smaller group, which Google also used in the Google Chat. First, Google Chat was introduced in the company itself. Google Chat was open for the Google employees only, right? So the new feature will first deploy on a smaller area or on a smaller zone, right? And it will be open for the specific user base, right? Then they continuously monitor the feedbacks and continuously develop and test it. So basically, here we are getting three new terms. First is the continuous monitoring, second is continuous development, and third is continuous testing. These three terms are basically comes in the DevOps. So when we are basically deploying a basic feature or a new feature to a specific group, we are monitoring the feedback of that particular feature. We are continuously developing the bugs, okay, which we are getting in that particular feature, and test it and again deploy it, right? So there's a cycle. We will discuss about it, this particular cycle, with a very good diagram in the coming slide, right? Once the feature is stable, once we know that that particular feature is stable, right, they are deployed on other user bases in multiple releases. So after the feature is stable, we are still not going to deploy the complete feature over our all data centers or overall or complete application. We will release it in multiple release for a specific users. Suppose first we will release it for the Asia, then we will release it for Europe, then we will release it for America, then we will release it for UK, right? So we will release the new features in chunks in multiple releases. So this is called the dark launching technique. So this is the diagram of the dark launching technique. So very first, the Facebook is a company which introduced a new feature, right? It will deploy it on a specific user group, which is in the yellow belt, right? And a specific data center. Then we get the bugs, so we roll back the feature. So basically over here we can see a cycle is being generated. First, the feature is going to a specific user. We are getting the feedback, which is called continuous monitoring. If we get some kind of feedback, some bugs, then the feature again go back to the development team, right? They will fix it and test it. This is called continuous deployment, development, and continuous testing. So feature is being released to a specific group. They are being monitored. If we are getting some bugs, they again go to the development team. Development team fix and release a new build. It will again test it and again go to the development team if there is a bug. So there is a complete cycle which is called continuous monitoring, continuous development, and continuous testing, right? Once we have the feature stable, right, we will release that particular feature to our other users. This is called continuous integration, right? Once we have that particular feature in our application, we will open that feature in multiple releases to multiple users. This is called continuous deployment. So we are deploying our application continuously on different data centers or different data zones. So here we learn five new things, right? So this is basically the implementation of the dark launching technique are the activities or the fundamentals of the DevOps lifecycle. And DevOps lifecycle is all about the continuous deployment, continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, and continuous monitoring, right? So this is the phase which started the DevOps. Now we learn about the DevOps. So as we have already discussed, DevOps is not a technology. DevOps is not any programming language. So basically DevOps is a software development approach, right? Right waterfall model, right agile model. DevOps is also a software development approach which involves continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous monitoring of software throughout its development lifecycle. So it includes the plan, code, build, test, and after the test, deploy it, operate it, and monitor it. If we are facing an issue, then again go to the plan, code, build, test, and again deploy it, operate it, and monitor it. This is a complete never ending cycle, so that we have a sign like this, which is infinity sign of the DevOps. So we are basically working in releases. We are planning something, coding that particular thing, developing that particular thing, build the project, test it, again deploy it, right? After the deployment, we will operate it, monitor it. If we are getting any issues, we are getting any feedback, we again go to the development phase. So this is never ending cycle, but in the DevOps, we have a very frequent releases. If you have, if you want, you can release your software weekly, bi-weekly, twice a month, thrice a month, or in 2 months, in 3 months. So basically in the DevOps we have a very frequent releases. This is the benefit of the DevOps approach. In this particular diagram, we are displaying some kind of tool sets which is required for the DevOps. So when we are talking about the plan and code, we can use some tool sets like Git, right? Like Subversion and Jira. Jira is used for the defect reporting. Git is used for the uh, software version controls, and so Subversion is also used for the software version control. We will discuss about the Git, the complete Git tutorials in the coming videos. Then we will build our project. We have the different kind of build tools available in the market like Maven, Ant, and Gradle. We'll use Maven in this particular tutorial, right? We will learn about the Maven. If I will get the time, I will create the lectures on the Gradle as well. Then next phase comes with the test, and we have the testing tools like Selenium, JUnit, Rest Assured, right? So here you can see we have different phase, and we have different tools available for each phase, right? Then we have the continuous deployment and monitoring. For that we have the tools like Ansible, Puppet, Chef, SaltStack, right? Then we have a continuous monitoring, and we have New Relic, Sensu, and Nagios. This complete phase is basically called the DevOps phase, and these are the tools of the DevOps profile or DevOps approaches, right? So we are building the project, we are developing the project, we are building the project, we are testing it, we are deploying it, right? Monitoring it, and again building it. So this is the DevOps. So that's all about the DevOps. If you have any question regarding the things we have discussed today, then you can put your question in question and answer forum, and I will answer your questions, right? In the coming tutorials, we will learn about the continuous deployment, continuous integration, continuous monitoring, and about other areas. Thank you. Thanks for your time.